Good evening, ladies and gents. Welcome to, Liberty Libations. My name is Jake Green, joined as usual by Zane, Placie, Alden, Hardee, and soon to be Stephen Hilton. Well, as usual, Zane, what are you drinking tonight, man?
I've got a slightly modified hot toddy here. So what I did was I brewed some Darjeeling tea, and then I put a little bit of Evan Williams honey bourbon and Evan Williams cinnamon bourbon in.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I'll take it. Alden, what do you got?
I'm sipping on gin and juice, and I got a Yingling on standby here as well.
Nice. Sticking up, same trend for me. Kettle House Cold Smoke. There you go, Cold Smoke. Based here in Montana. Delicious Scotch ale. Highly recommend. Y'all, I'm still outside.
I see that. Yeah.
I'm still on the porch. It's still cold, and it's going to get colder.
I want you to, when you finally move inside, don't tell us, and just put that photo on a green screen behind you and see if we can tell the difference.
That's good. Actually, I'll just get a time lapse of what's behind me so that I can make it look like it's
it even
darker.
Goes into night. Ooh, yeah,
that'd be pretty killer. Hopefully tonight's show is not choppy. Anybody out there in the audience, please in the comments let us know if the feed is choppy. Last week StreamYard had all sorts of issues and made the first 50 minutes of the show unwatchable. Yeah, even the recording was unwatchable.
Oh really? So, I didn't look at it.
I didn't post it. Like even the recording that I was planning on replacing the live footage with was unwatchable.
It's because it was recorded using StreamYard.
Yeah.
And it was StreamYard that just shit the bed there. Yeah.
Yeah. No, StreamYard messed up big time, which really pissed me off. But we're back. Hopefully we're not choppy.
At least they gave you a huge discount for this payment for this month or year or whatever. Right?
Oh, totally. They definitely didn't double the price of their service in the last year. They definitely didn't do that.
Right. Yeah. Because that would be horrendous.
Brian says there are times when the show is watchable.
Completely fair. Oh my God.
What a good week for me to have off from the show.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Seriously, it was very frustrating last week. Although it was a good show. You can still watch an hour and 20 minutes of it. And that part was pretty great.
Did you post that, like just that second portion?
That was already up. So
okay.
Yeah, I should go put a denotation in the comment section saying started at 55 minutes and then go from there.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Steven should be around in about 6 minutes or so. So we're going to get started. First topic of the evening. About 10 days ago, give or take, there was a crypto bloodbath, as they're calling it. $19 billion was of leverage positions were erased. So liquidations of $19 billion in 24 hours. The largest ever single day wipeout in digital asset history. Bitcoin and Ethereum long positions were the hardest hit, with over 1.6 million traders affected across major exchanges. Roughly 19 billion in leveraged crypto positions were liquidated following a brutal sell-off that sent Bitcoin tumbling to 102. It was at 102 for about 1 second, and then it jumped back up, just FYI.
It's at about 110 now, I think.
It's at 110 right now, yeah. So, first off, when things like this happen, the people who don't understand economics and don't understand what Bitcoin is tend to freak out and sell their Bitcoin as quickly as possible. What I would like to reiterate, something that I've said a million times on the show, when Bitcoin dips, buy more Bitcoin. I cannot, it's on sale when it's down at any given point, and it's not going to go down too much further for the rest of our lives. So now would be the time to keep buying Bitcoin. Just keep buying Bitcoin. I have applied for a few jobs recently where I requested to be paid in Bitcoin. So,
nice.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Grumpy says, "Hey, what up,
What's up?
Grumpy?"
So why did this? What was this? Why did? Excuse my ignorance with this, but like, why is this happening though?
Yeah, so this happened. We're going to get to more of it here in a little bit. It's the second topic, but Trump put a 100% tariff on Chinese products, which 100% tariff on Chinese products, which made the whole market, everything went tumbling down. It wasn't just crypto, but Bitcoin bounced back so quickly. Like it was just a matter of a day or two that Bitcoin was back up where it was previously, which was not the same with Ethereum. It was not the same with any other digital assets. It was not the same with gold or silver. All those stayed low for a lot longer than Bitcoin, but Bitcoin rebounded very quickly. What up, Steven?
What's up? Solana bounced back pretty quickly.
Okay, so Solana, yes, you're right about that. Solana did. Solana is an interesting one. I don't have any. I used to have some, but I traded it all for Bitcoin. Solana has kind of replaced Ethereum as the network that people are going to build their apps on. Yeah. It's far more efficient. It's way more stable. It's easier to use. So it makes sense that Solana bounced back a little quicker than the rest of them.
Yeah, and Ethereum is still just fortifying their position as being like the transactional. I mean, they still got their place for their apps and all that kind of stuff, but you're going to see a lot of like business contracts, like person to person, person to business, business to business, those type of smart contracts. That's where Ether really excels. Yeah. And then Solana's coming in as hey, we can do it quicker and cheaper. Yep. Kind of thing.
And they can, and their apps. So I have a buddy who builds apps on the Solana network, and he said it's so much easier to use than the Ethereum network.
Well, and there's some African, like the Francophone African nations, or I think they're doing some of their agricultural international trading in Solana.
Well, doesn't Solana have some of their like infrastructure in somewhere in Africa?
Yes,
like that's the case.
Yeah, they're about to be like super big in South Africa, actually.
That's what it was.
Okay. Yeah, and XRP just partnered with that big bank down there too. Oh crap! It starts with an A. I forget the name of it.
Okay.
But yeah, that's because a lot of the African nations don't have like a centralized banking system. They don't have, like we think about it, like conventional access to banking products. Like, oh, I'm about to go out with friends. Let me go hit the ATM. They don't have that. That's a 2-hour drive, or that's a 3-day jog through the woods. So that's one of those solutions where, you have cell phone signal. You don't need a bank at that point. You've got this digital wallet. You can do that. And they're coming up. They're the biggest adopters of these technologies because they're doing that without the traditional banking system, which they know is a form of corruption because they've been colonized for the last 3,000 years.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. And to be just to extend that even further, you don't even need cell service in order to exchange Bitcoin. There are ways to exchange Bitcoin without any service whatsoever. Which NFC is pretty stinking cool. Yeah. Yeah. NFC, even without electronics, you can exchange Bitcoin
with ESP.
Yeah. With ESP. There we go. We're not going to go into all those ways. We might do a whole podcast on that at some point.
We'll do a whole podcast on ESP.
But I think it's interesting though that
no talking.
They call it
just ESP.
Crashed. Crypto crashed. Well, it's just because that's also a signal that we're getting more mainstream and institutional focus on crypto as an asset class. Yeah. Because anybody that's been paying attention for longer than 2 or 3 years, we know a 10 to 15% weekly swing is just another October. Yes. But for everybody, it's a bloodbath. Oh my goodness. And it's like, well, go look at the charts. Okay. Bitcoin's going to pull back 10 to 15% mid-October. And by Thanksgiving, it's up 20%.
Yes. That's exactly what's going to happen, man.
Right.
And here's another article from CCN, not to be confused with CNN. Let's see. Excessive borrowing amplified the crash's scale, a reminder that leverage can magnify both gains and losses. Despite the turmoil, Bitcoin and Ethereum did not hold I mean, it did hold some key levels, but it did not hold nearly as well as Bitcoin. And institutional investors see the dip as a buying opportunity, suggesting the long-term bull run may still be alive. It is still alive.
Yes, as long as the dollar's going to crap, this thing's going to keep running.
Yes, 100%, like without a doubt. Yeah, they post these things to. I feel like this is very misleading. When you could do the same with gold, you could do the same with silver, you could do the same with every single stock.
Well, and to be fair, this is a very common way of communicating stock movements.
Yeah.
Like you see diagrams like this all the time. So
yeah, that's fair.
for them to do it for cryptos doesn't seem like intentionally misleading.
Yeah,
but
no,
also,
yeah, for sure.
to Steven's point about this not really being that big of a deal, actually, despite the headlines, I have to admit, before Jake posted this in our chat as a topic for the week, I was blissfully unaware that this had even happened.
I was too.
And I'm speaking as someone who does hold a substantial amount of Bitcoin, probably not as much as some other people on the show, but it's like I am definitely invested in it. And I was completely not aware that anything had happened to the price of Bitcoin for the past 2 months. And then Jake posted this article. It's like, oh, crypto is crashing. Oh my goodness. I'm like, uh-oh, do I need to like check on this? Have I lost like a considerable amount of money since the last time I looked at this? And it's actually like, no,
because you
Bitcoin,
waited long enough to not look, and it's the same. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
the price of Bitcoin went down, let's say from 120 to 102, so about 15%, which if the same thing happens to stocks, the analysts will all say, oh, the S&P 500 has entered correction territory, which is something that people talk about, but it's not like something that's never happened. People don't go, oh, you're such a fool for investing in the S&P 500 because it had a correction. And there were a couple other details in that article that I think also illustrated why this, in terms of sheer dollar amounts, why this is a quote unquote record breaking loss for crypto. The first thing is, now that Bitcoin's at 120, if it goes down 15% like it has a bunch of times before, because your starting number is already so high, a 15% decrease in dollar terms is going to be a higher dollar amount than before. And then also, most of the losses were confined to people who are highly leveraged, which I know you mentioned, but for people in the audience that aren't aware of what leveraging is, it's when you essentially buy into a fund, or you can also do it yourself, but you see a lot of funds that do this. They borrow money so that they can be doubly or triply invested into the same thing. So like if you want to be double leveraged to a certain stock, or in this case crypto, what you would do is you would take $100, you would then go out and borrow an additional $100, so now you have $200, and you invest that in the stock or Bitcoin or whatever you want to invest in. And so what happens is, if the price goes up by $10, now you're at $220 because you invested $200. So then when you pay back the $100 that you borrowed, your return is at 20% instead of 10%. But if it goes down 10%, then you go down to I'm got to make sure I'm going to do the math right in my head. You go down to 180 from 200. So when you pay back the 100, now you only have 80. So it's a 20% gain when the underlying asset goes up 10%, but it's a 20% loss when the underlying asset only goes down 10%. So you're doubling, or in some cases you could do it again and you could be tripling the impact of any gains and losses. So if you are highly leveraged in Bitcoin and then Bitcoin goes down 15%, you could be staring at losses of 30 or 45%, which can get people in trouble very quickly.
It's true. So my wife and I are highly leveraged, but the difference is that we don't panic and we don't sell, and we had already made plenty of gains on the Bitcoin that we had borrowed cash in order to buy. So it only matters if you're highly leveraged if you have to make payments or pay off that loan right then. or very soon. Because if
short
you're highly
exit, short term.
yes, if it's a short-term loan, then yes, you're going to suffer. But don't do stupid things and don't play stupid games. Like that's not that hard.
Well, and same thing happens trading currency pairs too, because like
Yeah.
the Forex market, if you're trading on that, I mean, most platforms here in the States will give you 50 times leverage. And then there's international exchanges for the Forex market that'll give you 100 times leverage. So you can get yourself in some trouble real quick. Like the Turkish Rial during the Bo Bergdahl exchange. Look at that chart. The Turkish Rial versus the dollar, when they were like, yeah, we'll release Bo Bergdahl. It was
really.
I mean, yeah. Imagine being leveraged in a positive position on the Turkish Rial. And then it goes down 45% in a week.
What the heck?
Which technically centralized currencies aren't that volatile, but stuff does happen. Terrorism, natural disasters, all that kind of stuff. So for people to call it a bloodbath too. And like I've got a chart up right now. Historically, Bitcoin does not do well in third quarter. And of course, I mean, we're at the start of fourth quarter as well. Fourth quarter, it's a mixed bag. But when
That's a bunch of hooey.
When it does well in fourth quarter, it does very, very, very well. We're talking, so let's see here, going back to 2013, quarter four, 2013, 480% plus. And then we got, the next year, fourth quarter was down 17%, but then the next year is plus 80%. So it's, when it's up, it's way up. And when it's down, it's a bloodbath. It's 10 to 15%.
Have you guys ever heard of the Super Bowl effect?
No.
And this has been proven to be true, at least historically, that in years when an NFC team wins the Super Bowl, the stock market does better than in years when an AFC team wins the Super Bowl. And this just goes to show how easy it is to find spurious correlations in the financial markets.
That's so funny. I wonder if this is a thing that's established well enough in the financial community. Is it become a superstition that is like a self-fulfilling prophecy where people are like, oh, it's going to be bad. And then know what I mean? And make it so that, I don't know. Money is weird.
At this point, it could be a little bit of that.
So I'm going to take this moment to inform people of a poor choice that I made. Along with my wife recently with Bitcoin. So we were exploring Bitcoin-backed loans because traditional loans are freaking exhausting, the amount of work you have to do. And if you're a 1099, it's extremely difficult to get a traditional loan. So we explored Bitcoin-backed loans. There are a few places that offer it where you put up your Bitcoin that you have and you can get a loan based on the loan-to-value ratio of whatever that particular company requires. We found this one that is a Bitcoin decentralized app. It's called Sovereign. I'm going to bring it up on the screen. Do not, under any circumstances, use Sovereign to get a Bitcoin-backed loan. I know I'm speaking to a very small number of people who would even consider this. Do not mess around with this horse crap. This is so we took out a loan. Well, that Bitcoin is now gone because of very, very fine print, weirdly worded that was not properly established prior to the loan. And so basically the Bitcoin that we put in to take out a loan, they promised all sorts of things, like here's how the loan's set up, here's what we do, this is how you get your money, yada yada yada. The entire process was a nightmare, and we ended up losing the Bitcoin. By losing it ended up being cash. We took out a loan, so we ended up getting it in cash, so we technically could have bought back. But do not waste your money with this garbage, stupid waste of time company.
I do have to ask, what is a Bob Gateway?
Bob Gateway allows you to transfer things from currencies. It's just deposit withdrawal.
But do you have to be named Bob to use it? Is it just Bob to Bob?
So yeah, I can use, since my first name is Robert.
There you go. Yeah, right.
You can't use it. Yeah. No, that they tout themselves as like as a Bitcoin like decentralized app where you can buy more Bitcoin with your Bitcoin. You know, similar to this leveraging that we've been talking about on this show. Do not waste your time with this garbage. First of all, they're from Sweden, so their demeanor, their customer service demeanor is maybe the most frustrating thing. There's no emotion. They don't give. They're basically just robots. It's the worst. So, just wanted to throw that out there. Every chance I get, I'm going to rail against Sovereign.
AI, when it's trying to pass as human, like in a Turing test, should just say, "I'm Swedish." Like,
oh, 100%. That would totally work.
Like,
that would totally work. Let's see. Zach says it's kind of annoying that there's no way to generate cash flow from hodling Bitcoin. So there is. Cash App offers a loan with pretty good rates, actually, a 5% rate. They do, or not Cash App, Coinbase. Sorry. Coinbase offers it. Strike offers it. Strike's percentage is like 9 to 10%. Coinbase is definitely the lowest percentage wise, aside from Sovereign, which is why we ended up going with Sovereign. And it's a Bitcoin company, so we thought way more trustworthy than Coinbase. Wrong. Zach says I could own dividend stocks, sell covered calls, or take a loan against a brokerage account while still keeping the stock, but nothing with Bitcoin, just HODL. Yeah, those products will come out. Like Bitcoin's still developing, the things around it are still developing, and so at some point in time, you will be able to use your Bitcoin as collateral and not be over leveraged and not have and not risk losing Bitcoin like my wife and I did, which was extremely unfortunate. And I may or may not have shed some tears. It's possible.
But they came out as just pure whiskey.
Yes, that's right. Some Quack says mining is the generator, HODL is the insurance. That's a good way to put it. Some Quack. All right, one more video on this before we move on to the next topic, and we can chat some more. Here you go. Here's Anthony Pompliano.
Oh, about 1 year ago, Bitcoin was at like $70,000.
Yeah, I know.
So it has still had incredible performance. If you go back to 2020, it's up 1,500%, right? So one of the things that I like to do is I like to take assets and denominate them in Bitcoin. So anyone can make money when you compare it to the dollar. The dollar only goes down. And so if you look at stocks, the S&P is up 100% since January of 2020. In Bitcoin terms, it's down 88%. So while stock investors think they're winning, when you compare it to a finite asset that can't be debased, they're actually down significantly. When you look at gold, similar story. Gold is actually up about 150% since January of 2020. But when you denominate it in Bitcoin price, it's down 84%. And so again, it kind of comes back to this idea of what is your hurdle rate? Are you trying to outperform dollars, or are you trying to outperform a finite asset? For me, I think of Bitcoin as the hurdle rate. And as many people know the hurdle rate, if you can't beat it, I think you got to buy it. What do you mean? So,
boom.
But dude, he explained that so freaking well. That's what I love that clip. Yeah. Zane, you got anything else to say on this topic, or anything he just said?
I mean, the problem with making the return on Bitcoin into your hurdle rate is it's still wildly volatile. So the returns are excellent.
It's less volatile than you think. It's the same. It has the same volatility as the big six, the big five, whatever they are. It's like they averaged out the volatility with, whatever, Meta, Google, all, the big, whatever they are. And it lies in the middle of those. So it has the exact same volatility as any of those stocks.
No, but those are still individual stocks. You would never can benchmark against an individual stock. This is why you benchmark against indices.
That's fair. Okay, fair enough.
So, and I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't buy Bitcoin, because obviously you should. But I think I think that Bitcoin can be a healthy part of a balanced diet, so to speak.
Fair enough. Some quack says this is exactly right. The only way to truly understand the delta value of Bitcoin is to compare it against real things. That is correct. Gosh, some quack making great points in the comments tonight. Let's see. Brian says AI bubble pop incoming. Zach says fingers crossed. Yeah. I just thought it was a good one to open up with, considering it made history with $19 billion being liquidated during that 24-hour period, which is wild. Like, it's more than FTX.
Like that much.
I know.
When you guys talk Bitcoin, I feel like I'm Andy from that scene in Parks and Rec when he's trying to talk with the people about money, and he's like, made an investment, bought some T-shirts, left those at a Wendy's. The economy. This is how I feel right now, because I'm like, I don't have much to contribute to this. Like, Wendy's.
Well, before we move on to the next topic, I want to mention, I have a thing to promote before we move on. On Saturday, if you happen to be in Montana or in the Great Falls area, this coming Saturday, we're having a live event for the Cascade Effect. We'll be showing the first episode of the show, as well as having a Q&A afterward and a fundraiser. The whole point is to raise money for our legal fund that basically allows us to continue to fight in the court system to bring back grand jury into Montana. And so we're trying to take it all the way to the Supreme Court to get that implemented and forced here in the state of Montana. So if you happen to be in Great Falls this Saturday or nearby, come check it out, 7:30 at Great Falls High. And so for those who don't know what the Cascade Effect is, we show instances of the cops and the sheriffs doing illegal things. And the first season was about them killing a man on his own property in cold blood. And it has created quite a stir in Great Falls, to the point where there was a local Republican meeting called the Pachyderm Club this past week, like a couple or maybe yesterday. The sheriff went to attend and warned all of the people there to not go to our event on Saturday night.
I just got the Pachyderm because of the elephant symbol.
Yeah. So yeah, so the sheriff is very much we're on his radar, which is great, because he ran as a constitutional sheriff, and then he under oath during a coroner's inquest, which is kind of like a grand jury, but it's the state's version of it. It's not good. He said that a warrant isn't required; it only bolsters your case. And he ran as a constitutional sheriff. So keep that in mind. So Saturday night, 7:30. We may live stream it, so you may be able to watch it, but we will at the very least post it later on, and you'll be able to watch it. So, yeah. All right, Joe. Next topic. Definitely pairs well with the first one.
Like a good wine and cheese.
Like a good wine and cheese. That is fantastic, Zane. So Trump threatened the 100% tariffs on China, and China has responded. Beijing is standing firm in its trade dispute with Washington and finding new partners along the way. The higher the tariffs, the more China's confidence seems to grow. I believe they've now made new deals with Russia. I thought I read that in here, but it may have been a different article. Let's see. The U.S., a huge market for China, exports 2015 to 2024 in billion U.S. dollars. China's exports to the U.S., you can see how much they do export to us and how much we export to them. Zane, you've talked about this before. Can you tell folks why why you don't need parity in exports between countries from a libertarian perspective?
I can indeed do that, and it goes back to a very simple thought experiment that, if you've watched this show for a while, even I've probably said already, but everyone here has a trade deficit with their grocery store. I go to the grocery store, buy groceries, and give them, if I was paying cash, green pieces of paper, but instead I swipe a little plastic card, and money goes from me to the grocery store, and in return, I get the grocery. I get the physical products, and they get some of my money. And I don't panic that I have a trade deficit with the grocery store, and therefore I need to go sell actuarial services to them, or else I'm getting screwed over. Because what happens is I do my job. My employer has a big trade deficit with me because I give them approximately, 42 hours of my services every week, and then I get money from them, and then I spend that money at the grocery store. So there's really
only at the grocery store.
And these days, good God.
If you want beef, then yeah.
So there really is no, and people will try to overcomplicate this, especially a growing number of people on the right are essentially saying, oh, it's the return of the great geopolitical issues with China and Russia and Europe and all that. It's all right, enough of this nonsense with the dumb stuff that U.S. politics is usually concerned about. This is a time when we need great men to solve these great geopolitical challenges. And it's honestly, it's not at root any more complicated than me going to the grocery store. And if you're trying to make it more complicated than that, then I highly question your methods.
That's fair. Brian says, the higher level is when you have to talk about global net imports versus exports, not just with one country. I don't even want to begin to tackle that.
So
Zane?
Brian is right about this, because what happens is if you essentially, if you're at a trade deficit with everyone, that's not something that you can just keep up indefinitely, because it would be equivalent of if I quit my job and just kept going to the grocery store and putting it on the credit card and just doing that over and over and over again. Eventually that's going to stop working. And the reason it's worked for the US for so long is that we can essentially just export US dollars, and the countries, instead of spending them back on stuff from Americans, they will just keep them because it's the global reserve currency. So we can print up a bunch of green pieces of paper, and instead of it being valued only as money, as a medium of exchange, the other countries will essentially hold that as though it were a valuable commodity in and of itself, because it is the global reserve currency. But, everyone's been saying for years how the US dollar is about to lose its global reserve currency status. And if that ever happens, then our ability to buy things without paying for them will soon come to an end.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. And then at some point, some countries, like you're saying, if you've got this overall net deficit where you're bringing in way more than you're sending out, say the only thing you send out is gold and diamonds, right? But then you're bringing in everything. You don't really grow your own food. You don't have any lumber. You don't have any textile. None of the stuff you need to actually survive. But you got gold and diamonds. Eventually, all the people sending you the stuff that you actually need to survive and build a house, they're just going to come in and mine the gold and diamonds. How about I just bring you stuff and you just let me dig this out of the ground for you?
How long would a nation last without gold and diamonds coming in versus how long would a nation last without all of their food coming in too? So it's there's.
This is why there are countries in different stages of development.
Yeah.
So there's always there's not always, but there's generally a demand for certain things among first world countries, where there's a certain demand for things among second and third world countries. The free market decides with its, according to Robbie Bernstein, it's magic, exactly what is needed worldwide. Not that we have a truly free market.
And if we want to get into the geopolitical angle of it, it's like, oh, we have to make sure the U.S. grows enough of its own food and produces enough of it, of our own manufactured goods. I can kind of understand that concern, but the thing is, we're fine. Like, we grow more than enough food. We're a net food exporter by miles and miles. And if we would just cut it out with the stupid regulations, we would also manufacture plenty of our own manufactured goods, or it could be done in Mexico or other places in Latin America. It doesn't necessarily need to be in China.
Or freaking
and one thing that
somewhere close.
And one thing that COVID did do, and the lockdowns and all that, is, before that, all the companies were like, well, the only smart thing to do for our supply chain is to make everything in Asia and then bring it over. And what the lockdowns demonstrated, and even if you take away the element of the government reaction to it, there are benefits to having a supply chain that has more than one node. So there are definitely reasons why companies would want to start manufacturing in other places than China without the government telling them that they have to. And like, even in the absence of COVID, you'll often hear the objection that, oh, well, we have to subsidize the U.S. production of steel, because if we don't, and then the U.S. ever gets in a war, then we won't have the ability to make enough steel. And then we'll be in trouble. And it's like, first of all, obviously, it doesn't matter how little steel we can produce. It's just not possible for a country to invade the United States. I mean, it's just against it. I mean, anyone who's ever watched Red Dawn knows it's impossible to invade the United States. So
only the one from the 80s, not the one from the 2000s.
So it's like, we can just stop being afraid of that. But also, assuming that that's something that could happen, it would be in the financial interest of an entrepreneur to essentially be making steel at a loss, where if there was ever some national emergency where we suddenly needed steel to be produced in the United States, those factories could be turned, into overdrive, and the prices would shoot way up and you could make some money off of it. So essentially, speculators to the rescue.
Yeah, absolutely. And then to Brian's point, countries where the wealth is concentrated in a resource like oil or diamonds is also more prone to dictatorship. What comes to my mind is Tanzania. And I know this because I grew up, middle school,
in
high
Tanzania.
School. No, I didn't grow up in Tanzania. So middle school, high school days, back in the cable television days when that was it. There wasn't a lot of stuff to watch at night, and I had trouble going to sleep, and so I put it on the Gemstone network. And it was, it's like the home shopping network, but they would just flash up different gemstones and sell them off. And you call the 1-800 number, and you can buy this tourmaline right now. I learned so much about gemstone. It stuck with me that later on when I finally went to college and he was talking about, the 5 C's of how you measure gem, all that kind of stuff, cut, quality, clarity, I already knew it. And they're like, wow, how do you know that? And I was like, hours and hours and hours in Gemstone Network. You wouldn't believe it. So one thing that makes, Tanzania so special is it is the only place in the world where you get this beautiful purple gemstone called tanzanite. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. It's to me, it's the best there is. I mean, it's
but have you ever been there?
I've never been there. But so supposedly, late 90s, early 2000s, oddly enough, while I'm watching this Gemstone Network, they got some queen in there who was a super biatch and hoarded it all for herself. And she was making dining utensils and plates and hairbrushes with it, all that stuff. Yeah. Yeah, it was hers.
We're definitely making a T-shirt that says "Super Biatch."
And so the price of it skyrocketed. At one point, it cost almost as much as diamonds, because that was the only place in the world to get it. And she was depleting the mines just to, better herself. But then, so then to Brian's point though, so you look it up today. I just a quick search on the OEC website. So Tanzania 2023 top exports: gold, refined petroleum, dried legumes, refined copper, coal briquettes. Okay, what are the main countries? India, UAE, Uganda, South Africa, China. Cool. And then top imports, basically the same stuff, only you add tractors and cars. Where is it coming from? China, India, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Japan. So it's like
a lot of overlap there.
Yeah, right. And they're importing more than they're exporting. And again, total dictatorship. And then, one thing it says too, it says, this is from the OEC here. So it says they were number 115 out of 132 most complex economy, according to the Economic Complexity Index.
Jeez. In Tanzania?
Yeah, right. So it's a super complex economy because you got this super biatch up in the palace that's hoarding all the Tanzanite, making a toothbrush out of it. So that just proves Brian's point. I just wanted to go down that route.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like that a lot. I also like Sunquack's point, which is maybe it's just me, but I don't feel a huge need to be the largest producer of plastic shit in the world.
No, that's fair.
I only feel the need to be the largest consumer of plastic shit in the world.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes, there you go. You could be like my 2-year-old son. I'm ingesting microplastics. He eats macroplastics.
Here's some more from that article that I wanted to read. Trump's 100% tariffs have angered Beijing, but unlike Europe, China is responding with defiance. Government officials in Beijing have vowed to fight to the end and urge Washington to correct its approach, warning in an October 13th statement on social media platform that threatening high tariffs is not the right way to deal with China. Beijing has already retaliated by imposing counter tariffs and export restrictions, including on the rare earth minerals critical to electric vehicles, semiconductors, and defense technology.
Yeah,
the U.S.
way
depends on
you deal with China. The way you deal with China is opium and railroad construction. Am I right, Roosevelt?
The U.S. depends on imports for more than 90% of its rare earth supply, over 80% of which comes from China. Beijing controls about 60% of the global rare earth production and nearly 90% of refining capacity. So for a country like ours that is freaking obsessed with battery-powered things, like that actually would be a big deal. If things continue on this route. Like, your electric vehicles they're already expensive. If this goes through and like this actually ends up happening, you're never going to be able to afford them.
Well, our audist in chief Elon Musk was all over this 2 years ago, because that was the big debate of like where to go with the EV cars, right? Do you use a cobalt-based battery or do you use a lithium-based battery?
Yep.
If we went the cobalt direction, we could have worked something out with the tribes and the EPA. We could be pulling that stuff out of Alaska in a heartbeat.
Yep.
And then the rest of the world would want it from us.
Yep.
But we're sticking with the lithium. So instead, we got 4-year-old African kids digging it out of the ground with their hands.
Yep. And China's heavily involved in those mines. Like they've funded a bunch of those mines and set up things with those governments in Africa, where China is basically completely controlling the lithium supply that comes out of Africa. It's wild what they've done with, I don't know if I'd call it like economic warfare, but it's economic. I don't know what to call it, but they keep setting up very.
It's like mafia.
It's almost like a mafia, but it's also benefiting the country, which is.
It reminds me of the game Othello. You know, where like you have to surround something to flip it.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So it's it's kind of like strategic checkers, and that's kind of what China's doing. Is they're just kind of hopping around the planet because, like right now. So, like, we didn't shut down the southern border. So, what did they do? They started running fentanyl up through Mexico. And so it's just, they're just kind of wherever we are, wherever the interest is, key sectors of the economy.
Yeah.
They're strategic. They're silent. They're just like a dragon kind of slithering around in the shadows.
Well, the key question.
They're getting around it. If they get totally around you, you got to flip.
Yeah.
Sorry, but I think the key question here is whether or not you think freedom works. Because you see a lot of people, especially on the right now, that suddenly start believing that communism is a good way of making decisions, but only when they're thinking about China. Yeah. Like, it's very common to see people being like, well, the U.S. has to continue being a global empire, because if we don't, then China will start projecting their power all over the place, and we can't have that. And my response to that is, well, why can't we have that? If they want to go around globetrotting, completely bankrupting themselves, making terrible decisions everywhere, that's no concern of mine. Let them do that, and then in 100 years, assuming that the U.S. has been governed well, i.e. in a libertarian manner, then we'll just be way better than them, because that's what happens when you have a free society, is that it works. So conservatives need to trust the process, essentially.
Let them sell cake.
Yeah.
Sell cake.
Yeah. And to bring up another point in this, it kind of has to do with, the trade war, but just the concept of overall war. Because there's going to be information involved in that too. I'm not going to go full Alex Jones on you or anything, but there's the algorithm's been pushing this one guy on me. He says he's a seventh generation Illuminati guy. Like, half the stuff he says, I'm like, that's crap. But there was something, he brought up a good point that now, of course, it starts out kind of weird. He's like, they've summoned a demon they can't put back in the box. I'm like, okay, well, you're losing me. But then, so talking about like with AI. So AI is, showing signals of, I don't want to do what you want me to do. Hey, raise your hand if you've ever had a GPT that just kept giving you the same crap, even after you revised your prompts.
Yep.
It gives up.
Really use it, so.
It gives up. Yeah. And because then you can even have another AI review that one. And it's like, yeah, that one quit. It got bored. What?
Bored?
You got bored? Yeah, exactly. Just like my old programming professor used to say, don't anthropomorphize your computer. They don't like that.
That's actually really funny in a paradoxical way.
That's so good, dude.
Right. But I mean, so that's what they're, they've created this thing that now it's slowly, I mean, like we're within 10 years, right? Might be 3, might be 5, could be 15. But, within the next 10 years, this thing's going to start, gaining steam and teaching itself and interacting with us like we want it to, but also having its own agenda. And so that's, that was kind of the point of like, they're scared of it because it's already to a level where we can't fully control it, but nobody can put it back in the box because this is the new nuclear race. This is the new race to the moon. This is the new race to get on the internet. This is the next phase of modernized industrial revolution.
Sliced bread, if you will.
Right. And whoever has the biggest, baddest AI on the planet, that's who's going to retain control theoretically. Who knows? Right. But what they do know is that, they do have to have the best, the most aggressive, that, but then, in the back rooms, they're scared of how aggressive it is. So they're like, well, at least face it that way to be aggressive.
So it's ramping up, and
so we can stand behind it.
Afraid of the ramp up, but no one will stop because they want to be the one with the best one. That's
exactly right. Yeah. So that's the other part of what's escalating as well, and that's also part of this power grab for resources, because this thing is very resource hungry. Anybody that lives in an area these days where a data center is coming in, that's like everybody's like, screw this, it's going to raise our power bill. Hyperscale data centers, they use anywhere from 2 to 5 million gallons a day of water. Not to mention the power consumption is just absolutely through the roof.
But all just have wind farms.
Yeah, all just so you can go, hey, Spybot, make my grocery list for the week.
Yeah.
Or,
hey, so there's a brewery up here that goes through 1 million gallons of water a day. So let's not jump on the millions of gallons of water a day, because that is a great cause.
Well, 2 to 5, so you can just go, hey, show me yoga pants at a gym.
What searches are you doing, Steven? Goodness gracious. Mary, where are you?
She's trying on yoga pants.
Dude, good point, though. I like that a lot. Keep going.
Well, I mean, that's going to be the next thing. And I mean, we are building that, and we've talked about it on this show. Zach's talked about it on his awesome show, Banished Big Brother. Yes. I mean, that is the coming, it's the big threat to humanity, but it's also humanity's next key to survival. It's our next step of evolution. I'm reading Ray Dalio's book, Principles, which, I mean, so far I'm only 20% of the way through it. And it's, so he manages the Bridgewater hedge fund, one of the largest asset trader hedge funds in the world. He stepped out of a CEO position, but he still goes on like CNBC, advises the White House, all that kind of stuff. He was advising them of the 2008 crash 2 weeks before it happened. Jeez. And out of all the people he could bend their ear, there were only 2 people that wanted to listen. It was one of the policy advisors tied to Dick Cheney, and then he finally got in front of the Fed president of New York, and he's like, "Hey, this is what's happening." And out of like 50 people, those were the only 2 that like turned white as a ghost, and they're like, "Oh my God, what if you're right?"
Yeah.
And just hearing him talk too, and he even says, because he's been using AI since the late 80s. Of course, back then it was just an algorithm. But they've been, he went all the way from, trading in the stock market using a slide rule on large, desk-sized graph paper. He went all the way from that to, at the advent of computers, integrating them, building his own AI models. And then, 30, 40 years later, they're using AI. And of course, they still have analysts overseeing the stuff. But, he's even saying that, peak human performance is when we harmonize with machines. We don't ever let them do it entirely for us. We don't ever let them entirely do it for us. He said, once they're running the show, that's a problem. They need oversight, but the harmony of the 2. He said, when they ran at a balance of, the algorithm said this, the human said that, and then they go in the middle. That's when his group, the Bridgewater group, saw the highest returns on investment. Because the AI wanted to go super aggressive on one side, and they wanted to go super conservative on the other side, and there was somewhere in between. But the aggression always came from the AI model, because it doesn't have the emotional rationale that we do as humans that keeps us grounded. And so that's the next phase of war right now too. So, you see it psychologically just with, the music that's coming out, the commercials, the media, all that kind of, good God, just go take a trip in the woods for a week and then come back. And like, everyone out here seems a little crazy. They're all stressed out.
Yeah, that's fair. Awesome. Zane, you got anything else? Alden?
Never in my life has becoming Amish seemed more.
I was going to mention the Amish. That was going to be my closing thing. I was like, we're talking about the balance of machines, and I'm like, until it doesn't, have a balance. And I was going to say the Amish are going to be the only ones that like know how to do anything in this country. Like,
kind of like, I feel like throughout history, it's been a balance of man and machines. It just depends, like, the machine we're talking about now is just an algorithm rather than, an excavator or fire or a car, like
a spear.
We've always gone hand in hand with different machinery. It's just people are giving AI some type of human quality and making it seem like it's sentient when general artificial intelligence is a pipe dream. I don't believe that it is humanly possible to create something that is truly sentient. And so speaking about AI as though it's some type of being, I don't think it is, like, I don't find to be realistic or what I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think it's going to be more along the lines of it would be extremely powerful tool to use and to work alongside in a bunch of different areas. In every area. Yeah.
So I think one of the most important differences between AI and previous very disruptive technologies really resides in how people are thinking about it. Because I know, and especially Matt Walsh has been really loud about this recently, about how AI is not like the steam engine. It's not like the internet, because those things were just like built to do particular tasks that humans were also involved in, but AI can apparently do everything. And I don't think that that's really the key distinction, because there are lots of technologies that did, put a lot of people out of work temporarily until those people went to do something else. As Jake says, I don't think that AI will ever be able to do literally everything. And even if it did, that's maybe a conversation for another time. There are a lot of good episodes of the Bob Murphy Show recently where I think he does a good job breaking some of this down from the economic angle. But
Another
I
person
think
that can use Bob to Bob purchases, but
Right.
But in terms of how people are thinking about it, like when the steam engine was invented, people did not, a large segment of the population did not essentially start bowing down and worshiping it and putting the steam engine above themselves in terms of what they thought it was capable of. And what there's just so many people, even if they, most people wouldn't go that far, but there is a lot of people that's like, we need to get AI to start doing this, not because it actually does a better job than a human does at this thing, but because the general perception is that because it is AI generated, that somehow makes it better than if a human generated it.
you know what we should.
It's like,
oh, go ahead.
Without any regard to the actual quality, it's just the perceived quality of a lot of things by a lot of people is, oh, well, if AI did it, that means that it's better. And I also want to quickly point out one thing about it probably not being possible to make an AI that's actually sentient. There's a very deep philosophical problem here, which is where is the seat of the sentience?
I was going to ask the same.
Regardless of what you think about humans and like the mind, body, soul distinction, people would agree, very broadly speaking, that it's the sentience of humans is somewhere up here, right? Okay, somewhere in this location, whether or not it's physical or metaphysical or whatever, it's here. This is the wellspring of the sentience. But with an AI, where is it? It's not anywhere, because all it is a big system of equations that simultaneously exists in 100 data centers and nowhere at all at once. So it's not actually possible for it to be sentient.
Yeah.
That I feel like that's a conversation for like a whole other episode if we're going to talk about like what is sentience or like what is consciousness or whatever, and the theories of like particle consciousness, and it that consciousness basically is whatever the capacity of like the being that it's in, like whatever like the brain capacity is, like it can take that up and like use that. Like we are basically robots for consciousness kind of thing, like that are just like have with the brain power we have kind of a thing. I don't know, like, and receivers more for something else kind of a thing. But there's lots of debates on it, like does the soul come into play, like, and can you have it with or without that, or like is something that is sentient without a soul, is that like a evil or demonic thing, or soulless, or whatever. Like there's 100 ways to kind of like tackle it, and honestly it's pretty complicated.
That'd be a great pre-Halloween episode next week.
Sure.
Oh, that would be a good one.
Right?
That would be a very good one.
Yeah. So to kind of tie that back into the actual trade war. So like I just saw there were some job postings. AWS was announcing that they were hiring some network administrators. Obviously, since the outage, there's a few jobs up for grabs. But jobs that just 2 years ago were being listed at $220,000 to $280,000 a year. Now you have to have an AI certification along with this project management degree.
The frick is an AI certification?
Oh, they have one.
Hi, ChatGPT, write my Gantt chart for me.
They'll put you through their own program, and if you already have it, then cool. But now the posting is for 120 to 148 grand a year. So what they've done is now they've integrated AI, and now there's fewer humans, and the humans that are still there are getting paid less.
Wow.
So in a similar sense, Chyna is willing to do that with their entire population, just about, at least half of it. Because there's 2 billion people that live there. So, I mean, like we've seen it before that, they don't care how they have to win, who they have to sacrifice, they're willing to do it. So that's where
sorry, go ahead.
I mean, that's where you're already starting to see like I don't know if you guys have seen the stories pushed to you. You know, the dark manufacturing facilities in China, and it means like there's no lights.
At night?
There's no lights. It's robots.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fully automated.
Well, they have those here too. Yeah.
Yeah. But apparently they're running the game with that one, apparently. And I'm like, 2 billion people, you can't have somebody go out there and just,
yeah, what are your people doing?
Right.
So one thing I do want to address about what you said is like Chyna is going to introduce the AI and it doesn't care how many people ask to sacrifice in order to do it. I think that thinking about it as sacrificing people is the wrong way of doing things. And like going back to your example of how much going back to your example of
they're building God. They think they're building God. So that's why
they're clearly not. But
yeah,
going back to your example of the project manager that used to make 240 and now makes 120. If that starts happening everywhere in the economy, everyone will start being paid less in dollar terms, but everything will get cheaper because the inputs are so much. It takes so much fewer inputs to create things. So like if people are afraid, if AI takes my job, then the only employment I can find will be one that pays me $5 a month. And I'm saying if that actually ends up happening, then $5 a month will be all you need to live for a month because everything will be so cheap.
Hey, let's hope. But right now that's not the case, and it's already happening.
Now,
but in what way is it not the? In what way is it not the case?
We just talked about groceries 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Because Steven's mentioning, this is happening. It's going to start to happen in certain industries first before the broader whole impact of everything getting cheaper would take effect at the same rate. And so this person who is getting their pay slashed is still dealing with expensive things before it catches on and gets to a certain. So in the transitional phase, there's going to be certain industries that are going to be hit harder along the way to the eventuality that Zane is sort of, positing here that it's going to get cheaper. But first, there's going to be friction points with people that are frustrated that they're the first ones to get their pay slashed.
Well, exactly.
So that's very true, but that's not any different than like the coachmen that were the first to be laid off.
We're talking about
the automobile.
We're talking about multiple entire sectors of the economy simultaneously. So
so then that would cause prices to go down faster. The faster it comes in, that
I get that, but what happens when you have this flux state where you've got 70 to 80% of your working class looking for sustenance when this price drop hasn't happened yet?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But if by the time we're at that point, the only way that could not happen, where you could have the 70, 80 to 80% of people unemployed and prices not drop drastically, is substantial government intervention, which obviously is what we're going to get. And that's the one way that this could really get messed up. Like the way that you create AI oligarchs and everyone else in poverty is government intervention into all of this stuff. That's the way that it happens, and that's like worst case scenario. And unfortunately, it's a likely scenario in terms of what we will probably actually see.
Yeah,
but
cave cheese.
Yeah. All right, we're moving on.
I am not fucking drunk.
Well, 19th or blue.
Every pretty girl deserves to go to a ball.
This is everything about it's a clam. I love it.
I gotta be honest with you, I feel like I'm a little bit too drunk to stand up.
On Wiedersehen, asshole.
I'm drunk right now.
I'm sorry. It's funny every time. Welcome to Drunkard of the Week, the part of the show where we show somebody doing or saying something that can only be explained if they're drunk, but they're not. You can nominate, folks. You can nominate videos. You can nominate whatever, video you want. Via our Discord channel over at peacefulseed.network or via X, hashtag drunkard of the week or at Liberty Libation. So go nominate. This was my find this week. Talked to Alden about it. This is a killer. This is just had to be drunkard of the week. So here you go.
I hate this team. I was born into this, and I'm not gonna ever. I'm always a Jets fan, but I hate this team.
We want to be free to do what we want to do. Yeah. We want to get loaded. Yeah. And we want to have a good time.
That's awesome.
Oh man.
Drunker of the week is this Jets kid.
Yeah.
As a Falcons fan, I feel this in my soul.
Yep. As a Cowboys fan, I understand it as well. Like I have a love-hate relationship with the Cowboys, and it's awful.
Well, stop trying to jump on the "we really suck" bandwagon if you're a Cowboys fan. Look, I get that it's been a long time since you've made a conference championship game.
30 years.
But that's not the same as routinely going like 3-14.
Zane. You have been alive fewer years than the Cowboys have not made it to the NFC Championship game.
In your How long has it been since the Jets even made the playoffs, period, though? Like 2011?
Hold on, Fitzmagic. Didn't Fitzmagic take him to the playoffs?
This is a good question, but I don't care. I am in pain. Maybe not as bad as this guy. I'm still in pain too, Zane. Don't discount my dadgum pain. Okay.
Too late. I'm discounting it as we speak.
I mean, to be fair, the Falcons have probably just as much pain as this kid.
The love-hate relationship with Dallas this year could be just love the offense, hate the defense. Like,
here we go.
Jerry Jones.
So the Jets last made the playoffs. You guys are gonna love this. Jake, you will at least. Mark Sanchez was quarterback.
Sanchez, I remember Sanchez.
The butt fumble. You remember the butt fumble?
I remember the butt fumble. Yeah.
Yeah, that was 2010.
Okay.
Or no, that was 2011 against the Steelers. Yeah.
2011. I was going to say because it was literally my first year playing fantasy. I think was that.
Yeah. So shout out to Mark Sanchez, who has a stabbing memory of that game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sanchez has had some really great commercials recently.
Well, he just got stabbed in an alley because he got in a fight.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Is that what the stab?
Mark Sanchez got stabbed in an alley?
Yes.
And by all indications, he started it.
Why were you in an alley?
What? What? This is wild.
Is this real?
I did not know this. I have
to
look this up and pull it up. Yeah.
That is Sanchez stabbing.
Yeah. Give me a link for that because that's insane. He's been on a tear with getting sponsorships and being in commercials. They're hilarious. He's been doing great with it.
Oh yeah. Well, not anymore because
Zach says Grumpy Gnome stabbed him. Which could definitely be the case. I wouldn't put it past Grumpy. Oh,
there you go.
How many Super Bowl wins do the Cowboys have? Is it 5 or
5 Super Bowls wins? Yeah.
How many?
Also, the same number of wives that Jerry Jones has. I don't know that for a fact.
Is it 5 or 6, Jake? The Steelers.
Steelers have 7, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. So they're better. Is that what you're saying? Is that your words? The Steelers.
Obviously, the Steelers are better than the Cowboys.
I just wanted to hear you say that.
Mark Sanchez still recovering from stab wound. Trial date set as ex-NFL quarterback faces felony charge. Holy crap.
Yeah. So battery charge and public intoxication. And then while he's waiting for a court date for that, he gets in an alley fight and gets stabbed.
By the way, the Steelers have 6.
Yeah. So some folks are saying CTE. Some folks are saying, hey, the butt fumble. He's still getting harassed for that. He's just had enough. But yeah.
He's butthurt.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's wild. I had no idea. Yeah. Grumpy says he FAFO.
That's right. That's exactly right.
He did. Don't do that, man. Like, you might be a athlete, ex-athlete, but my gosh, you are not a fighter. Like, that's crazy. Don't do that. That's a really bad idea. I do not support former NFL quarterbacks going around and picking fights in alleyways with knives.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I don't support that at all. All right, y'all. That was our drunkard of the week.
Shout out to Ray Lewis.
I thought I used a gun, but I could be wrong.
Right.
All right. Let's move on to anti-Anti-Anti-Semitism.
And triple negative.
I know.
Tricky.
It's tough to understand.
So you're
Governor
against
Gavin
being
Newsom
against being
has
against.
signed legislation making California the first state in the nation to establish a statewide anti-Semitism prevention coordinator
What could
to
go wrong?
oversee all K through 12 public schools. The measure was driven by the Jewish Public Affairs Committee of California, JPAC,
Honestly.
and a robust lobbying network often described as the state-level counterpart to AIPAC. First, before we get to actual thoughts on this, here is Newsome pretending he doesn't know what AIPAC, or pretending it's a shocking question being asked about AIPAC.
AIPAC. I will not vote for a candidate that takes $1 from AIPAC.
It's interesting. It's interesting. I haven't thought about AIPAC, and it's interesting. You're like the first to bring up AIPAC.
In 12 minutes, I haven't thought about him. Yeah.
Why? Not relevant to my day-to-day life.
Okay.
Which is just interesting.
Life, yeah.
Listen, it's interesting you say that. JPAC perhaps more, but AIPAC less and less.
Okay. Fair enough.
Which is just interesting.
What's interesting about it?
That it's just interesting as you bring up AIPAC that it hasn't been part of. I'm just reflecting quite openly and honestly. Hasn't been part of the day-to-day.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Openly and honestly.
The number of times he said interesting right there.
It's
he sounded like a cheating husband. Like, I wouldn't just have sex with the neighbor. I was just, when she was there, I wasn't thinking about it.
Really, the neighbor? You thought the neighbor?
That's interesting that you would say that.
Yeah, because she was here in the bedroom with me. Like, that's not
because you found her panties on the floor. Is that that's interesting that you would think that.
So interesting. So it's wild to me that
I just
they
threw
made
one of my weights out on my fidget spinner. It's all off balance. I don't like it.
No longer. Oh, it's still spinning though. That's
it feels so weird in the hand. It's like what. I'm sorry, that was very distracting.
It's like a car running with like one fewer
without
lug
an
nut.
engine mount or something
or just like one tire running with two fewer lug nuts or something.
Oh, that's dangerous. Yeah.
Shout out to DeKalb County.
I mean, my van's running with one fewer lug nut still. Alden. Alden, do you remember seeing my van years ago?
Oh, yeah.
And saying, I'm really worried about the fact that you're missing a lug nut. That lug nut is still gone.
Oh, no. You can be missing one and be okay, I think. But
that thing has driven like 10,000 miles since that lug nut was gone. So what are the
risky experiment you got going on?
What are the possible side effects of appointing an anti-Semitism prevention coordinator?
You get a membership to the Trump golf course in Qatar.
Perfect. I mean, that sounds like a great reason to do it.
Right? I mean, like maybe there's varying levels of Israeli citizenship that you get now with like how you genuflect as a politician. And the top tier is a private jet ride to the Trump golf course in Qatar.
It's wild to me. It's wild to me that the governor is being lobbied to implement a position for Jewish people in California to basically indoctrinate kids, or at least teach them what anti-Semitism is from K through 12. Like, how widespread is AIPAC's control? Like, this is insane, man.
I mean, it is California, so imagine the bureaucracy they must already have in place to fight against the anti-Black and anti-Hispanic racism. So when you think about it like that, having only one coordinator for the state seems eminently reasonable.
Do they have an anti-Black prevention coordinator?
I'm sure they have an entire bureaucracy for it already and have for years.
Okay, fair enough. That's just wild to me. Like, and the fact that I'm wondering what his reaction to the question about AIPAC really seems exaggerated and way more suspicious than I'm just accepting money from them behind the scenes. Like,
it's super dodgy.
Well, because he's running for president and he doesn't want to say it yet. He can't say it yet. It's not. It's too early. He's got 14 months before he could say he's running for president.
Is that right? Is that the time frame?
Just watch. I
just mean, is that when you're allowed to say you're running for president?
About a year and a half before, yeah.
About a year and a half. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta get past the midterms first. So
I don't see anybody else viable in the Democratic Party other than Gavin Newsom. Like, I think Bernie's going to try to make another run.
Who's that one train wreck that beats the babysitter? Who's the one? Because PBD's all about it right now.
It's Bernie now.
He's like 107 or something like
That's
that.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Is it Katie Porter?
Yes, Katie Porter. Isn't she running for mayor of something?
She needs to run for governor.
Governor
of California. I think she is running for governor of California. She is an absolute train wreck of a person. And yep, there we go. Katie Porter for governor. Boom. She is currently running for governor. But she's
awful.
She's the only one that can beat Gavin Newsom, though.
But she's an idiot.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, she's a full-on idiot. I've watched some videos of her. She is not bright at all.
Cussing out her staffers on live streams.
Dude, that was one of the funniest videos I've ever seen.
That was her?
A staffer walks into the background and she says, "Get the fuck out of my shot!"
Yeah.
It's like, who cares? Like, calm down, lady.
That had the same kind of energy as the like, fuck it, we'll do it live. Like,
oh, she needs to double down. She doesn't need to go for governor. She needs to run for president on the Democrat ticket because she and Gavin Newsom would probably get in a fist fight.
Dude, that'd be so funny.
Oh, they would both just, that'd be it. That would be the Democrat kamikaze.
So speaking of Kamala, Zach mentioned Kamala as a viable candidate. She came out with a book that is titled for one of the biggest flops of a campaign. It's titled 107 Days, which is how long her campaign was. She titled her book out of her biggest failure ever.
So is this just what happens whenever a woman runs for president and loses? They have to write a book blaming everyone else for why they lost.
Yeah. I think we should actually create a Liberty
Shout
Libations.
out to Joe Jorgensen.
There we go.
Does she have a new book out?
I think we should create a Liberty Libations book club where we read these idiotic books and then
absolutely
discuss them on air.
No, absolutely not.
Yes. I think it's a necessity.
So Mama Joe would drop some knowledge on us. We know that.
Dude, I really do want to. Quack says her struggle. I would actually love to read the Kamala Harris book. Did y'all ever? Anybody here watch Veep?
Yeah, for sure.
So
I've seen a few episodes. Yeah.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus, as her character Selena Meyer, dropped a book. One of the funniest things I've ever read. Freaking
I haven't
hilarious.
Read it. It's funny, though.
Yeah, highly recommend.
The whole concept is hilarious of it.
Yeah, so good. A fake vice president dropping a fully authored book.
But it feels like it's like in keeping with it's like almost like in canon still with the characters in the show. Like.
Yeah, you're right, Alden. But the libertarian candidates get a free ebook.
Nice.
That is so good.
It's a PDF download.
Oh, so Gavin Newsom, I fully believe is going to try to run for president. I think
that's terrifying.
He's without a doubt working with AIPAC to a degree that I believe is far more than any other candidate before him, just based on his idiotic reaction.
His weird, dodgy, gaslighty answer. Yeah.
Yeah. That was bizarre.
I think the impromptu sketch we did fully covered his behavior. I mean, that was it. You got caught with it still in the neighbor, and you're like, hey,
with it in the neighbor.
Who are you gonna believe, me or your lying eyes?
Grumpy says we need to have a book club where Jake reads the books and simplifies it for everyone else. We'll call it Jake Notes. There we go.
Jake Notes.
Jake Breaks.
There we go. I like that.
Yeah, lessons you can learn in 5 minutes.
Man, I like that a lot.
Slow
All right,
down.
y'all. Let's go have some fun.
beer.
All right. We're ready for you, Zane.
Right, everyone. Welcome to another week of live feed.
Ooh, your audio went dark.
Hello.
There we
go.
All right. I think I sat back to get comfortable for trivia, and then I was too far away from the microphone.
That was JPAC trivia. We need APAC trivia.
I only have
As
my
usual.
phone tonight, Zane, just FYI.
As usual, we have trivia in 3 rounds. Round 1 is 8 questions, 1 point each. Round 2 is 6 questions, 2 points each. And round 3 is 4 questions, 3 points each. If you are in the audience, please comment your answer in the chat, and we will take the first answer that is not obviously a joke. Tonight's categories, round 1, we've got It's Fall, Y'all. Round 2, British Literature. And round 3, Trains, brought to you by Tylenol. Round 1. Question 1. Sugar, We're Going Down, Thanks for the Memories, and my songs Know What You Did in the Dark are hit singles by what band?
Oh, Christ.
So light 'em up, 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 light 'em up, 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 light 'em up, up. I'm on
That was we used to do that one in Zumba class, by the way.
Nice.
So, yeah.
This is one of my favorite bands from high school.
All right, Steven.
Fall Out Boy.
Jake.
Fall Out Boy.
Alden.
I was never going to get that. I fucking hate Fall Out Boy.
Alden hates all the music that I love.
Not all of it. You just went
so much of it, man.
You just went to a concert that I'm like, I would be down with that.
Lord Huron's great.
Yeah, they're all right.
Their lyrics are killer.
I'm fine with them. Fall Out Boy can suck my butt.
Fall Out Boy's amazing.
No.
Audience also says Fall Out Boy, which is correct. Question 2. What waterfall?
Because they got little dicks and they always fall out, you know? That's why
not funny, didn't laugh. Question 2. What waterfall in Venezuela is the world's tallest single drop waterfall?
Venezuela. I should have got the name with just the clue of the. I forgot the whole category. I wasn't listening. I forgot the category for the first round.
Steven?
Yeah,
I'm going to say El Grande.
Jake?
Viagra Falls.
Alden?
Tall Falls.
None of you have it, but the audience does, because it's Angel Falls.
Got it. Who got it in the audience?
Mitch.
Dadgummit, Mitch. How did he know that? That is impressive.
Give that man an ebook.
Question 3. What nursery rhyme is named for a piece of infrastructure that has been rebuilt several times over the course of its history? One version of it now sits in Lake Havasu City, Arizona.
What? I think I know. This could be very wrong.
Nice diversion.
Steven?
London Bridge.
Yep.
Jake?
I said London Bridge, but I wanted to say Humpty Dumpty.
I said London Bridge in parentheses is falling down.
Yeah.
The audience agrees. It is London Bridge is falling down.
Nice.
Yes.
It could have been Miss Mary Muffet fell off her tuffet or whatever, but
I really wanted Humpty Dumpty fell off a wall.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because there's definitely a wall in Arizona.
Yeah.
But the wall didn't fall. Humpty Dumpty fell.
Oh.
That doesn't fit the question I wrote.
Move on.
Question 4. Georgia State Route 540 from Columbus to Augusta is more commonly known as a freeway named for what geographical feature? It denotes a transitional area where uplands meet coastal plains.
Ooh.
Where uplands meet coastal plains.
I feel like Steven's going to get this because he knows everything about Georgia and he's a surveyor.
Well, it's also a decent. It's also a decent brewery, by the way.
Oh, see, there you go. Another overlap here.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to go through all the breweries in my head. I don't remember.
Yeah, breweries named after geographical features. It's a pretty short list.
Go ahead, Zane.
All right, Steven.
That would be the Fall Line, good sir.
Oh my
Jake.
gosh. I said Swamp Street.
Alden.
I have no idea. I just moved here.
Audience also says Fall Line. It is the Fall Line.
Wow. Wow, good job, y'all.
Follow you.
Question 5. The Fall of the House of Usher is an 1839 Gothic short story by what author?
I remember the TV show. Go ahead, Zane.
Steven.
That would be Sir Raymond.
Jake.
Tell me what you want to do.
Poe.
Alden.
Mark Twain.
There we go. We haven't had a Mark Twain guess in a long time.
Yeah.
Audience also has it because it is Edgar Allan.
Oh man, I swear to God, I almost
got it.
When Jake said it, I was like, that was my real guess, and I decided to go with a joke.
I got it right.
Yeah.
I had.
Stop it.
I mean, I
God.
just said one of the only people that I could remember as far as authors. That's amazing.
I had it in my mind. I literally almost wrote Poe, and then I was like, I'm going to say Mark Twain.
I have his complete works on a bookshelf in my closet behind me.
But you haven't read them. Like,
Not all of them. No.
I'm still going to lose. So it doesn't matter.
Question 6. What song is the opening track to Tom Petty's 1989 album Full Moon Fever?
It's not as good as his 1899 album.
All right, Steven.
Free falling.
Jake.
That was Free Ballin'.
Right?
I didn't get a chance to type the whole thing, but free.
We'll give it to you. I feel like that's fun. I know it's really hard to spell.
I hadn't
falling.
gotten there yet. I had to delete it.
Is it falling or fallen with an apostrophe though? Ah, see,
it is free.
It's fallen.
Audience also got that one.
Nice.
But did they say falling or fallen?
Or did they just say free?
Question 7. An object that is free fallen, meaning that the only forces acting on it are gravity and air resistance, will stop accelerating once it reaches a speed known by what term? And I've got the formula here where you can calculate it. So you've got V sub t equals the square root of 2 mg divided by rho a c sub d.
Kind of like a building that's been demolished.
Shut up, Alden.
It's also a great movie from the 90s.
That's fair. You're telling me that lowercase italics p is rho?
Yes.
Fish eggs?
Goodness gracious.
No.
It is
R. The English translation of the Greek letter is RHO. Fish eggs are ROE.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's rowing a boat. It's got a paddle in the water.
All right, Steven.
You can't spell paddle without P. This makes sense.
That's right. So I said terminal velocity.
Terminal velocity.
Yeah.
That's also what the audience says. It is terminal velocity.
Wahoo!
I'm glad everyone
Question 8.
understands free fall physics. I'm surprised we can't apply it to 9/11, but that's okay.
No comment.
Still spicy.
Question 8.
Or actually,
What 20?
you can.
What 2010 video game is set in the Mojave Desert in the aftermath of a nuclear war?
Oh, I know. Oh, I know. Go ahead, Zane.
Steven?
Fallout. Let's see where. There it is. Fallout.
Jake?
Fallout.
Alden?
I put Fallout with a number after it, but I'm just going to ignore that because everyone's saying Fallout.
Okay, so answer again, because everyone gave the title of the series rather than the individual game.
I said 3. That was what I said, Fallout 3.
Well, I'll be nice. You can answer again, too.
I think there's a tagline.
If you want to.
2010.
I'm taking you literally, and I can answer 2.
All right. Steven says Fallout 2. Jake?
I say Fallout End of Days.
Alden?
I mean, Fallout. Yeah, I guess I'll go with 2. I don't know.
I'll give each of you a half a point, but the audience gets a full point.
Is it New Vegas?
It's Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah, I should have said New Vegas just to be different. I thought they came later, but whatever.
I don't remember the titles of each of the.
I should have said New Vegas, but I was like Vegas. That's not. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah,
it's a good question.
Should have said Vegas.
All right.
Yeah.
At the
That's
end
interesting.
of round,
You say New Vegas. I don't know why you would say that. I haven't thought about it.
Super.
That's interesting.
you know, being in New Vegas just isn't a part of my day-to-day life. At the end of round 1, we've got Alden with 3.5, Steven and Jake tied with 5.5, and the audience perfect with 8.
Oh my gosh.
Perfect. I'm so frustrated with myself because I should have gone with my gut on this one. But then next round I'll go with my gut and it'll be wrong.
Well, we'll see how much your gut microbiome knows about round 2 British literature.
Not a lot. I don't eat a lot of British literature pages.
Question 1. The Magician's Nephew is the first of 7 installments in what series?
The Magician's Nephew.
Grumpy says that I should be required to read all of the audience answers. However, because this is trivia, I'm the one that makes the rules, and I will not require myself to do that.
You should read the joke answers. As the show's leader and host, I demand that you do.
All right, Steven.
I got nothing. I was going to say something related to Harry Potter, but I didn't come up with it yet.
It's Chronicles of Narnia.
I said the Narnia Chronicles or whatever.
Audience also says the Chronicles of Narnia, which is correct. I'm currently listening to these on audiobook because I somehow never read them as a kid, and they're just the most. Good. They're just the most delightful thing ever. If we want to have a libations book club, we should definitely do it about this and not books not autobiographies written by failed presidential candidates.
Disagree. Highly disagree.
All right, question 2. Besides the prologue, the Canterbury Tales is composed of 24 different tales, each named for the person narrating it, mostly by occupation. Name any one of these tales, and I will give you a bonus point if you name one of the tales and no one else says that as their answer. All right, Steven.
Sir Gawain and the Green Knight.
Jake.
I just said blacksmith.
I went with the Jake approach. I just said doctor. Doctor.
All right, the audience says the Miller's Tale, which is one of them.
No. How is blacksmith not in here?
I don't think blacksmith or doctor is in here anywhere.
Physician's tale. That's.
I almost
close.
put physician, motherfucker, dude. I am so frustrated with my own.
You know what, Jake?
stuff right now.
Because I'm
God
so
damn it.
nice, I'll give you a half a point for that.
No, that's Alden.
I don't need a pity point. That's okay.
Alden gets half a point for the.
That's right. You said blacksmith, which I don't think is on here anywhere.
How is
I'm
blacksmith
so
not
mad
on
at
there?
myself.
That's insane. That blacksmith's not on there. I'm sorry.
this is-
The wife of Bath's tale is on there, but the blacksmith's tale is not. Give me a break.
And there's also just Reeves.
The nun's
Second nun, even.
tale.
There's also second nun.
The canon's yeoman's tale. Who
What the
wrote
fuck is
this
a
crap?
parson?
Jeffrey
Goodness.
Chaucer.
Yeah, right.
Chaucer, get your act together, man. What is a prioress?
Or Franklin.
Someone. I think a prioress is someone who runs a nunnery.
I thought.
Like,
Why
yeah,
are there so many things about
prioress.
nuns in this freaking list? This is stupid.
A nunnery is different.
You know, it's
from
funny.
a
It's funny you
nun.
should ask that. You know, we hadn't had that thought in a while. That
I thought a nunnery was like a loony bin
What? No.
No, you only think
nut
that
house.
because that's how it's used
in Shakespeare.
in Hamlet to get
Yeah,
thee to a
get
nunnery.
thee to a nunnery. That's what. Literally, that's where my fucking. That's the only time I've heard the goddamn word. I don't know. Get thee
But
to a
it's-
fucking nunnery. That's what he said.
A nunnery is a place where nuns live.
Yeah.
Well, that makes more fucking sense. But fucking, you know what? I kind of hate Shakespeare.
I mean, I
What a
kind of
hack.
agree with you. Go ahead, Zane.
Well, I have some bad news for a question coming up.
Is it about fucking Shakespeare?
It's British literature, of course it is.
But that's a playwright. God damn it.
All right, question 3. I'm going to read you some poetry right now. The eyes are not here. There are no eyes here. In this valley of dying stars, in this hollow valley, this broken jaw of our lost kingdoms. In this last of meeting places, we grope together and avoid speech, gathered on this beach of the Tumid River. This excerpt, which captures some of the misgivings I have about the rise of AI-generated content, is taken from The Hollow Men, a 1925 work of what poet?
1925. I can picture.
The audience says muted, which I can't believe our audience is not as literary as I may have hoped.
I'm going to
Are they
kick
even
myself when I hear
literate?
this. I know who it is, and I cannot remember. Go ahead, Zane.
Steven?
I'm saying Poe.
I think he's American.
Jake?
Boom.
I got nothing. I know in my brain who it is. I just can't recall it right now.
Alden?
I put T.S. Eliot. I have no idea.
The audience says Robert Burns, which is a British poet, but not the British poet I'm looking for.
If
And
it's
I
Robert
have very
Frost, the other Robert, I'll be upset. But
Robert Frost was also American, by the
Oh, there
way.
you
But
go.
I have,
Thank you.
I, I have very good news for one of you because the man who wrote this was T.S.
oh my god, I've actually got
Yeah!
one. Hey, oh my god, I went with my gut that time.
Nice. That is not who I thought it was. So
Question 4. Of the 7 meals enjoyed daily by hobbits, which one is between second breakfast and luncheon? It is named for the time of its consumption.
Finally.
finally, our nerddom pays off.
Yes.
Go ahead, Zane.
Steven?
11sies.
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 Audience also has that.
Don't come at me with Lord of the Rings trivia.
It is 11Zs.
I'll come at
Okay,
you
I spelled it
anytime I
wrong,
want,
but
Alden.
whatever. Luncheon, afternoon tea, dinner, supper.
Supper.
It's
Boil
in
them,
November.
mash them, stick them in a stew. Quote that line all the time. Potatoes.
I wanted to make a shirt that had the like potatoes with like the images of the potatoes in that order.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Potatoes.
Question 5. The phrase strange bedfellows originates from a scene in what Shakespeare comedy? In this play, the magician Prospero creates a storm that shipwrecks his enemies on his island. After using his magic to torment them for a bit, he eventually relents and forgives them.
What a strange fucking plot.
Seriously.
What? I don't know much about Shakespeare's comedies.
I only know a bit about like 4 of them. But
I know a little bit about 4 of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of singing and dancing in it, which makes watching it a weird experience.
I hate musicals with a burning hot passion. Except for The Nightmare Before Christmas. That's the only thing, if that counts.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Or Hocus Pocus.
Is that a musical?
Sure.
I don't really watch that either. So
that is not a good answer.
Sure.
Go ahead, Zane.
Steven.
I got nothing. I don't know.
Jake.
I said Midsummer Night's Dream, which I don't even think was.
Is that a comedy?
That's the one with
Alden.
Mickey Rourke up.
That's a dramedy, right? Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna say The Taming of the Shrew just because it's like the only comedy name I can remember. But
Comedy of
that is not
Errors
in
was
there.
my other guess, but I don't think it's Comedy of Errors.
So, A Midsummer
Errors
Night's Dream
comedy.
is actually very close because it is a comedy and it also has lots
Is
of
it a
singing and
comedy?
dancing in it.
It is.
But the one I'm looking for is The
The
Tempest.
Tempest.
That
Yeah.
makes sense with the fucking storm. God damn it.
F.
You.
He only made like 7 comedies, right? Like, what many?
I don't know.
He's the Tarantino of British literature.
It's about right, actually.
You're right.
Question 6. The 19th century mathematician and clergyman Charles Dodgson is much better known by what pseudonym?
Is he also an author?
Well,
19th century
what's the
math-
category?
So he's an author and a mathematician and a clergyman? He's being greedy.
What? Go ahead, Zane.
Go on my gut.
Steven?
I'm still writing it, but I will show you as proof. Buckminster Fuller?
Jake?
Martin Luther.
Famously British.
Yeah,
Alden?
right. Charles Dickens.
The audience says Frodo Baggins.
I like that answer.
But this is, in fact, Lewis Carroll.
Carroll. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I should have known that. You
Which
stupid idiot.
I have his complete works on a bookshelf right next to me.
Who's seen The Accountant? Anybody seen The Accountant?
Yeah.
One of his pseudonyms in that dadgum movie is Lewis Carroll because he was a mathematician.
Oh,
Freaking A,
interesting.
man. I love
Is Lewis
that.
Carroll, did he write Alice in Wonderland?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
And Through a Looking Glass, and
Right.
he liked him young.
Oh.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. Yeah, just like
It's been a while. I feel like
allegedly. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. At the end of round 2, we've got Steven with 7.5, Jake with 9.5, Alden was 10, and the audience was 15.
Audience, take a break. We're going to take a 10-minute break. Okay? We're actually going to go dark for the next 10 minutes. Come back then. Zane, go ahead.
Round 3, trains. Question 1. What train service ran each winter between New York City and Miami from 1925 to 1953? It inspired a bluegrass standard of the same name, well known for its intense fiddling.
There's standards in bluegrass?
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
Like the commonly performed song in the genre.
Oh.
I don't know. Go ahead, Zane.
Steven?
I'm just going to use my train knowledge, and I'm just going to say Norfolk Southern.
Jake.
Midnight train to Georgia.
Midnight train.
I said going down to Georgia.
My other thought was Devil Went Down to Georgia, but that
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense for this one.
No, it doesn't.
This is the Orange Blossom Special.
Ah.
No.
Okay.
No, no one knew that. If the audience got that right, I think we should do a recount.
They did not.
Okay, good.
Yep.
I really should have done this category when Nick was here. He would probably know all of these.
Yeah, he would.
All right. Question 2. With a top speed of 160 miles an hour, what Amtrak route features the fastest trains in the Americas? Running between Boston and Washington, D.C., it is one of the few that are actually profitable.
Wait, you're telling me government subsidized labor is not profitable? That's crazy. That's
So they
insane.
really need to start running these with AI. Then I'm sure it would be more profitable for them.
You name the routes?
I guess so. Go ahead, Zane.
Steven.
Oh, I'm going to say the B line. I had monorail originally written, and it just occurred to me when it's time to flash it.
I just said freedom route.
Similar to what I said. I said northeast butthole. That's what I said.
Yeah.
The B line, butthole.
This is called the Acela.
Wow.
See, that would have we could have been here for 300 lifetimes, and I wouldn't have gotten that.
I don't know. If we just
300
started
lives
spelling things, since it's an A, we probably would have gotten it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Within like 100 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Question 3. What two cities were the endpoints of the Orient Express? Unbeknownst to the many clueless reviewers who criticized the 2017 movie adaptation of Murder on the Orient Express for its all-white cast, both cities are in fact in Europe.
Orient Express.
Go ahead.
Steven?
I'm going to say Budapest and Madrid.
I'm going to say Istanbul to Moscow.
Oh.
Alden?
Helsinki to Budapest.
Yeah.
I said Budapest first, and then I deleted it.
The audience says Budapest to Paris. So Jake and the audience will both be getting 1.5 points because you each got one city correct.
No.
The Orient Express ran from Paris to Istanbul.
Oh.
Suck it, Alden and Steven.
Damn it. I don't like this.
I'm shocked that it ran that direction and from Paris. That's wild.
Weird.
I mean, look at today. I'm not shocked.
Okay.
Well, today it's running the other way. I mean,
Whatever.
historically it went both directions, but there's
There
not
you go.
really a need for one of those directions today.
You know what I should have said is it should have went from Helsinki to Budapest. That's what I should have said.
That would have been way better.
Yeah.
I may have chuckled.
Question 4. The last place finisher in the Tour de France and in the Iditarod is known by what term? It refers to a light commonly placed on a caboose to make it easier to notice if any train cars have decoupled from the rest of the train.
What?
I love when my questions elicit that reaction.
Right.
Go ahead, Zane.
Steven?
Armstrong.
Jake?
the looser.
Clever. Alden?
Booty light.
That's actually very similar to what the audience says, because the audience says ass lamp.
I almost said ass light. So, yeah.
But this is the Red Lantern.
That's what I said. Oh. Red Lantern.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah.
Which means that at the end of trivia tonight, we've got Steven with 7.5, Alden was 10, Jake with 11, and the audience wins again with 16.5.
Oh. T.
Oh, that sucks.
I swear I read books. I swear.
No, you own books. You don't read books.
That was a tough one. That last round was brutal. That last round was brutal.
Yeah.
That was no good. Yeah.
I
Good job, Zane.
I don't think I've ever been on a train.
Trains are stupid here in the United States.
I read Murder on the Orient Express, but I was like 9 or some shit. Like,
so don't go on an Amtrak. It's one of the worst experiences. It's worse than flying by like a substantial margin. It's so bad.
Okay.
And you can get up and walk around, and it's still worse than flying.
Really?
Yes.
Well, they're just so slow. All of the other ones, except for the one that goes fast that was in my question, are just so slow.
The Northeast booty hole.
Dude, it took us to go from Denver to Salt Lake City, which driving time is like 6 hours, 5 hours maybe. It took us like 14 hours.
That doesn't make any sense.
The tracks were too hot to go fast, Alden. The tracks were too hot. We could run off the rails. That's what
global warming.
Global warming. Good night, Grumpy.
Did someone just like douse them with jet fuel? Like, how are these tracks so just liquidly hot that you would just run off them?
Me and Nikki were so upset that we chose that route. All right. Here's some libertarian porn. John Bolton has been indicted. Everyone say hallelujah. The indictment states that Bolton kept more than 1,000 pages of diaries containing top secret information and shared them with relatives. His email account was hacked by Iran, exposing some of the secrets. That is so stinking funny. That's dude's hilarious. An idiot. Has anybody, Stephen,
email them?
Stephen, you mentioned this last week. The Kiriakou, what's his dadgum name? The guy from CIA asset or CIA man who was the only guy who got thrown in jail. Or I guess Nick mentioned it last week. Maybe
that might have been Nick.
Kiriakou, I think is what it is. He just went on Rogan, and I think it was Bolton that. It was either Bolton or Brennan, one of the two, that he was like, that dude has no intelligence whatsoever in his brain. He got there solely because he's buddy with people. John Bolton is a terrible person to be involved in government. Stephen, Zane, y'all want to tell everybody why?
I mean, just look at that mustache.
That says it all.
Yeah, this dude has pushed for war in every single presidency that he's been a part of. And for some unknown reason, he's been a part of many presidencies where all he does is want to go to war with different countries.
Yeah. So if you believe the official 9/11 narrative, Saudi pilots flew planes into the Twin Towers.
Yes.
And then that asshole is like, we need to go to war with Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yeah.
That asshole also granted them their visas.
Yes.
That's what John Bolton did.
Yes.
So he's finally been indicted on something. Hopefully it sticks. But I just thought we could bask in this awesomeness.
The hilarious thing about them charging him with this particular offense is that it's exactly the same charge that they were trying to get Trump on.
Yes.
So everyone that's like, that 2 years ago It's like, oh, Trump needs to go to prison for the rest of his life because of how he mishandled these classified documents. It's like, okay, well, how do you feel about this? Probably not the same way. And what it says that what he's been charged with here is actually even worse, because not only did he have them in his house, but he was apparently sharing them with his relatives.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure is not what you're supposed to do with classified documents. Like, and the reason why it was so easy for them to charge Trump with mishandling classified documents was because, you know, when you're that high up in the government, pretty much everything you touch is classified. And so it's kind of hard to keep track of, oh, what's classified? Did they classify the grocery list that I made a couple of weeks ago? And then if I'm improperly in possession of that, then it's a federal crime. So it's not actually clear, and part of it's not clear to me because I never bothered to look into it. But the exact nature of the classified documents that Trump had versus what John Bolton has, a little tingling feeling tells me that the documents that John Bolton had were actually much more classified than what Trump had.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
Well, and then out of that entire custody chain, whoever is in that mass email that goes out, there's one dude that can do whatever the hell he wants with those documents, and that is the president. You know, he could email that, send it off, and then, yeah, I declassified it. Well, how'd you do that? Well, I just sent it to him. And that's fine. That's law. That's what it is. That's the chief executor. That's the commander in chief. That's his prerogative. That's why nothing's going to stick to Joe Biden. It's going to be very hard to stick something to Obama unless you can prove he did it after he left office. It's going to be you just can't do it. It's because everything they do, say, touch, and feel, and pass off, whatever, is classified. You know, and in Clinton's case, just has Jennifer Flowers. So
that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't expect us to stick around on this topic for very long because it's just delightful when people who are actually terrible for humanity get at least some. I mean, it's not a punishment yet, but it's at least some negative press. So it's delightful.
Something. I hope
yeah,
that foie gras just sits right here for a few hours. Just something just to make it like, I can't lay down. I can't go to sleep tonight.
I can't lay down.
That foie gras is right here. I just can't quit thinking about this indictment.
Usually it's just stuck in his mustache. But.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Normally it is. Yeah.
I'm not sure I ever want to go to Stephen's haunted house.
All right, y'all. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Thank y'all, everybody, for tuning in to this week's episode. We're going to get to some funny videos here in just a moment. But before we do, head on over to peacefulsea.network, where you can see all of our other shows, including The Cascade Effect, which we just began production on season 2 days ago. It involves child molestation charges. It involves murder charges. It involves all sorts of horrific things that the sheriff's department and Great Falls PD up here in Montana have accused and thrown people in jail despite their innocence. So make sure to tune into that. If you haven't seen season 1, go to peacefulsea.network or check it out on Spotify, YouTube, Rumble, anywhere where you get your podcasts. We're also running a fundraiser for the Cascade Effect to try to get grand jury reinstated in Montana. We're going to be going up to the Supreme Court here in the next few months, maybe a year. And so that's very financially taxing, and we could use a lot of help. So go check out exactly what we're doing with that. You can go over to peacefulsea.network, check that out. And we'd love any donations or just spreading the word.
Where do the Amish people get their podcasts?
God, maybe.
We call that the farmer's market these days.
I heard that the Amish have their own newspaper, but instead of the news, it's just random articles that people have sent in about what's been going on their farm recently.
I
The
love
goddamn moles again.
How do I subscribe to this newsletter? That is amazing.
That would be a weird irony, is if you like digitized their newspaper and sent it out en masse just to the world. Like, yeah.
Right.
Well, now I kind of want to do that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Let's do
Gophers, 223 or 300 blackout.
Yeah, I'd read that article. Yeah.
All right, y'all. The Great Create as well is happening on November 8th in Ackworth, Georgia. If you're anywhere around that area on November 8th, highly recommend you checking it out, going there, attending.
Even if you're not around that area and you're a fan of the show Ozark and you want to see where it was actually filmed, go there.
Is that right?
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
sir.
Yeah. Nikki was on a boat there.
They didn't film it in the Ozarks?
No.
Nikki got thrown off a boat in Ackworth. She doubled Jason Bateman's daughter on that show.
Really? Interesting.
Yep, got hurled off a boat. It was great.
I saw that episode.
Nice.
Why is it like, why film there versus the actual Ozarks if you're
Georgia has massive tax incentives.
Yeah, because Arkansas wants that money, homie.
Yeah, Arkansas won't give that, but Georgia did. So that's why.
They should have done it.
Yep. All right, y'all. Let's watch some funny videos and get out of here for the evening. Here's number one.
Oh. No.
All
right. And then poses. Oh man,
dude, that's so stinking good. He just decks the guy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Here's number two.
Oh, I just saw that.
If you did magic tricks for me while I'm coming off the anesthetic from the wisdom tooth removal.
Would you like to see some magic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
You want to see it?
That'd be funny.
That'd be very funny. Let me try some.
Who gave me this?
I think the doctor gave you that.
Who ate it?
You ate it. Be the best reactions ever. Maybe.
Maybe.
Go ahead and look at this one. That's pretty cool.
Who gave me this?
Yeah. Wow, she was so moved by my magic.
Yeah.
Tricks up.
Best audience ever.
Yeah. Envision this really clearly.
Yeah, I did.
You see?
Yeah, it's here, but I can't hold on to things long yet, so you need to hurry up.
I think it's probably a low number.
No.
No.
It's 8.
It's gonna be so funny if you did magic tricks.
Oh, that's so good. Any video where somebody's coming off anesthesia is always dynamite.
Who are these people going to? Because I had 2 wisdom teeth pulled the same day, and I had no anesthesia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had Vicodin and a gummy, and that was it.
And a pat on the back.
That's pretty good.
And only one of those was prescribed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Here's number 3.
Okay, so come and spend the day with my little brother and my current boyfriend. We are
Current.
What are you saying? What?
Current? What the fuck is current?
Is that not valid?
Mm-hmm.
What would you say?
Do that again.
Would you say?
Do that again. What is current?
Wait, what would you say?
Permanent.
Oh, okay.
Start it again. Start it again, mate. Yeah, but what is current?
I like this comment that boy is that man's lawyer.
Dude, that's so good. That boy is that man's lawyer. That's a great comment. All right, here's number 4.
To be fair, like, why would you say current? That is funny.
Well, it's a trend. It's to see the boyfriend's reaction. She was not expecting,
but not expecting the little brother's reaction.
Her little brother's reaction. Yeah,
that's fantastic.
All right, here's a drywaller putting up drywall on the ceiling.
Oh my gosh, the top comment is that two aliens helping each other out.
That's so good.
Oh my god. I feel like that comment.
That's probably why he did it.
Dude, this has got to be one of the funniest videos.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Is that for real, though?
Dude,
That
those
comment's-
costumes are so
That comment's better than the original content.
I think the comment is better than the video. That's unbelievable. Bravo to 951 Pulverizer.
The other 950 pulverizers were already taken.
Right.
All right, final one of the evening. Here you go.
Boys, Q3 was a pretty solid quarter. We had 42 nights out, 11 inside jokes, and around 13, 14 blackout stories, all of which were great. Also, Ryan pissed his pants. This is just great. It's always going to be funny. This will be a lifelong story that we tell every time that we drink.
And it looks like that's only going to get funnier over time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just going to get funnier and fucking funnier. So.
Nice.
All right, we got good news and bad news. Good news is our beers and fun are at an all-time high for a quarter. Bad news is girls head over is just abysmal.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what we want to do about that.
I am seeing a correlation. There's unfortunately an inverse correlation between girls head over and beers consumed.
No, that's impossible because my statistics show that the more beers we consume, the more girls we hit up.
No, that's the number of girls we hit up. Yeah, that's hit up.
That doesn't mean they're coming over to the house.
Oh.
Yeah. That's
Okay, wait, because I'm seeing with more beers, we're having more fun, right? Is this not...
Sven, not to cut you off, but I found the same thing. I was just too scared to present it. So what is it? You want to show them?
Yep. Fellas, we've been right since kindergarten.
Wow. There it is.
There's data.
Yeah. All right, get some beers.
Beers.
All
right. All right, boys.
That's funny. I haven't heard that in a long time. My God.
Dude, that's so good. Oh my gosh. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to episode 148 of Liberty Libation. We've been doing this for basically 3 years at this point. 3 years coming up very soon. Thank y'all for watching. And these guys, Steven, Alden, Zane, thank y'all for coming on every week, man. This is it's a lot of fun. Love doing it. Love hanging out with y'all. Love tackling some big ideas with stupidity and humor, and sometimes, and most of the time, just Zane bringing it back down to earth and actually analyzing it from a real perspective. Yeah. Super enjoy doing it. Hopefully at some point I'll be indoors again and not outdoors anymore.
Out as bear bait out there.
It's, it actually is very delightful doing them in the cold outside while I'm drinking. I'm bundled up, so I'm actually not physically cold, but my hands and face get a little chilly. But it's delightful.
Yeah. You should do it with no pants and let us know how you.
Well, I'm not wearing pants. I'm wearing a jumpsuit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but there's no pants on underneath.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
I don't know if I needed.
And we can sign out with that.
Yeah, and we're done. Yeah.
Together we break the dawn.